Peace, family. What's good? It's man Ocean. Welcome back to On Network, where we just try to be honest about whatever the topic is that we discussing or we approaching. And today's topic is some of the nuances and details of the war that's against Black society that's being waged by America. And I found an article in the Refinery 29 that helped me illustrate a few points, and I just want to go ahead and get straight into it. In the title it says Kyle Rittenhouse killed two protesters and police have donated thousands of dollars to him. So let's just see. By the way, here's let's take a good look at terror in its eyes, because you got to just go and kill two people, what I mean, that you never had any previous history with. Just to be so much on a path in life that you just kill two complete strangers. Okay. That you got to be a pretty terrible person. That's just one plus one equal two. If you end up killing two complete strangers before you 20 years old, you was destined to be a terrible motherfucker. We gonna keep. There's one thing that we gonna do around here is keep it gutter and honest. So I don't got no pity or none of that. So if you come here looking for any type of sympathetic type shit for a motherfucker like this, I'm sorry, this is the wrong place. But Kyle Rittenhouse killed two protesters and police have donated thousands of dollars to him. All right. Kyle Rittenhouse, an 18-year-old who killed two people and injured a third in Kenosha, Wisconsin last summer, has raised at least $586,940 through the Christian crowdfunding website Give Send Go, revealed a recent data breach. However, according to their associated email addresses, several of Rittenhouse's anonymous donors were police officers and public officials. Again, that's what the whole point of this video is right now. Some of the nuances and the way that this war that's being waged on Black America, that's the reason why I'm doing this. Because if you ain't paying close attention to what's been going on since definitely not the beginning of time, but the beginning of American time, what this America that we live in. It's been going on since they tend to want to start history right when this America started. Anyway, so we'll go from that point. It's been going on since the beginning of time. This war against Black America. If you ain't not paying close attention to some of the details and the nuances, then they'll slide them right by you, and you've been missed a whole lot. But it be taking effect on your life, okay? And it's definitely a deadly war. It's a deadly war. Read in the headline: Kyle Rittenhouse killed two protesters at a Black Lives Matter rally, by the way. And whatever Black Lives Matter mean to you or mean to me, that's beside the point. But we know what in the streets what it represents. Okay, it represents Black people as a whole. Even if I know we can go there another day about the leaders of Black Lives Matter and them getting rich off of the whole movement. That's not what this is meant to be right here. So I'm gonna try to stay on topic. But it says the breaches findings were shared by the transparency group, distributed denial of secrets, and published in the Guardian on Friday. Again, there's the terrible person, destined to be a terrible person. This guy, Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, it says one anonymous $25 donation came with a disturbing note. God bless. Thank you for your courage. Keep your head up. You've done nothing wrong. And I thought about that, and the way that life is about perception. If you Kyle Rittenhouse or somebody who feel like he feel, maybe you haven't did anything wrong. He felt like he's a soldier in this war. And if it's a war, and the way we live in a time of war is me or you, then he felt like he did something right. So that's just me being as unbiased as I can on this particular topic. But it says, you done nothing wrong. Oh, this is the deep part right here. Every rank and file police officer supports you. Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged by actions or the political class of law enforcement leadership. Now that's deep. Think about just think about what that person's saying right there. Oh, let me just tell you who said it too. Then the email address associated with the donation indicates that it came from Sergeant William Kelly, the executive officer of internal affairs for the police department in Norfolk, Virginia. Now, just think about what he told him. He said, "Don't be discouraged by actions of the political class of law enforcement leadership." This email, it came from William Kelly, the executive officer of internal affairs at the police department in Norfolk, Virginia. So he's saying that, okay, maybe you might be catching a wind of some of the police officers saying that you should not have did what you did or whatever, but that's just a political stance that they got to take to keep their face clean to society. But deep down, all the police officers of rank and file, we heavily support you, and we support you to the point. I support you to the point that I'm willing to make a donation in my name, and I don't really care how it come out to show my support, because I know that we are fighting a war against black society, and you did a great job in doing your part. You took out two of them. Two black lives is worth so much more than your little measly little life, that I'm willing to show my stand side shoulder to shoulder with you and show my support of you, and even wrap my arm around you in the form of a donation, $25 donation to your $500,000 donation. Okay, so just think about that. And this is the William Kelly. Sergeant William Kelly is the executive officer of internal affairs. Do you understand what that means? That he the executive officer of internal affairs. So that means that this is the motherfucker who investigating the police when the police come up on the fire for dirty shit that they doing in the street. Per se, killing black people in the street. This is the motherfucker who do the investigation. He just donated to a nigga that gave who the person that investigate the police for killing black people just donated money to somebody who killed black people. You got it's nuances. It's deep. It's definitely more than what's on the surface. And it's ugly on the surface. It's ugly on the surface. So, but what else is at the surface? When you get to the core, the problem is always uglier at the core than it is on the surface. If you can, anyway, let me get back into this article, man. Whew. In August, Rittenhouse killed two anti-racist protesters at a demonstration for Jacob Blake, who was shot several times by a Kenosha officer, Rustin Shetsky. A police officer who left Blake paralyzed was another beneficiary noted in the data breach. The nigga who shot Jacob Blake, he also received money from this same, you know what I'm saying, the same type of he also receiving the same type of benefits from fighting in this war that Rittenhouse is. So they inclined to do this type of shit is the point that I'm trying to make. Okay. The Guardian reported that around 32 Kenosha police officers donated a total of $5,000 to a fundraiser in his name. Shetsky returned from administrative leave on March 31st. So he already back in the street to do that shit again. I'm not even going to even harp on that. But he already back on the force, bro. The nigga who shot Jacob Blake is already back on the force. If that ain't crazy, that's crazy, bro. The Kenosha Police Department said in an April 13th statement that he was found to have acted within the laws and was consistent with training. Do you read that with me? He acted within the law and was consistent with training. And I'm not here to dispute that by any means, that he acted within the law and was consistent with training. But what I am here to question, like, I'm not here to question shit, but I'm just gonna tell you that it's another case. It's another situation right now. It's another situation going on right now. Well, a man in Minnesota, not far from where George Floyd, what they did to Colin Kaepernick on his neck until he couldn't take it no more. He called out for his mama. They kneeled on this nigga neck for 9 minutes now. But it's another case in Minnesota. A white man, where he had a police officer hanging off the side of his truck. Do you hear me? I'm gonna report this next. That's gonna be my next story I do. But a white man, he had a police officer hanging out the side of his truck. Bro, first, why the police hanging out the side of his truck? He backed up into another police officer. Hold on, let me whip my whistle one time, B. I needed that. But he backs up, hit another police officer car. He back up, hit the police officer car, then drive down the street with the officer hanging on to the side of his truck. Hit the officer in the head with a hammer. Then and still end up getting arrested and not killed, not shot, not bodily harm. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So it's so I'm not here to dispute the fact that it's inside the training, but it's also inside the training to it's inside the training to shoot black. And I'm just gonna throw in Brown in there because I'm sure they shoot them a lot too. The little 13-year-old was a little Mexican Latin dude. Let me be respectful. But it's also inside the training to not kill white men, no matter what the fuck they do. The only time you kill a white man if your life is in inches of death. That's the only time you really get to kill them, or you really should kill them, I should say. So they can see the fellow white man as a man, but they only see the black man as something that need to be dealt with in any by any extreme deemed necessary. Okay, so according to the Guardian, three other notable exchanges reportedly came from a paramedic in Utah, a city employee in Huntsville, Alabama, and an engineer working at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, a government-owned national security facility. All three of the donations were linked to email addresses from public officials. This is especially unnerving in the wake that several recent police shootings involving black and brown men who were shot and killed by police and whose ages range from 13 to 20. Rittenhouse, meanwhile, has been treated by police not only with ease, but now praise and support. Rittenhouse's $2 million bond was paid by conservative fundraisers last fall. Now, I'm just going to pose a question right here. This is just a simple question. How many, if you can, if you made it this far, I please, first, if you made it this far, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate that. I need that. But also, would you please leave a comment right now to this question? Leave the answer to this question. How many black men right now in America, 19 years old, black men in America, if they get locked up for anything and get a $2 million bond, how many of them in America do you think gonna make bond? And I'm just gonna if I had to just take a wild guess, how many black men right now, 19-year-old, black boys, black child, no, he was 17. How the fuck old? I'm gonna say 19, 20. Just make it around fucking 20. How many 20 young black 20-year-olds, if they got locked up for anything, could make a $2 million bond right now and get out of jail? So a $2 million bond, that means come up with $200,000 cash right now. How many? Without how, with uh, uh, um the help of GoFundMe and everything, I'm gonna say 30. Yes, 30 of them. This nigga made a $2 million bond because he played a great role for. He was a great soldier in the war against Black America that they fighting. That's why he made it. But let me get back. Rittenhouse $2 million bond was paid by conservative fundraisers last fall. His trial will take place in November 2021. He's been lauded by many Republicans, including former President Donald Trump, as an American patriot and an ally of the Blue Lives Matter movement. According to the footage from the night of the protest, an officer thanked Rittenhouse's armed group and gave him water moments before the shooting took place. So, if you write this, look at that. Just look at that, though, bro. I don't mean to just dwell on every fucking letter of the article, but just look at that, though. If you running around here, you 17, 18 years old with a big fucking gun at a Black Lives Matter movement, and all the black people got friction with the police about some shit what the police did, you here in support of the police, and one of them tell you, "Thank you, I appreciate you." Now you feel like, oh shit, this is definitely the right thing what I'm doing, and I'm whatever plan I had, I'm going through with it now. So you emboldened even more, and that's what they put. Even they ain't gonna lie and say they put no battery in his back. He already would he come with he was on 100% charge already. But still, they would just tip it on over. Oh, they endorsing me too. Shit, I'm finna go kill me a couple of them. I'm gonna kill as many as I can right quick and play my role in the war. Now I'm set for life in the war on society. I mean, on black society, the white supremacy war. Okay, Jennifer Carson, a PhD, a professor of sociology at the University of Arizona, interviewed 79 police chiefs in 3 states to investigate the disparity in the way they view armed civilians, and to no one's surprise, it comes down to race. Police chiefs, police chiefs articulated a position of gun populism based on the presumption of racial respectability, wrote Carson. According to the Vox, good guys with guns were marked off as responsible in ways that reflected white and middle class respectability. We see the hypocrisy time and time again. Take Dante Wright, a 20-year-old black man who was killed by an officer in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota last week. John Cardillo, a right-wing commentator and former NYPD officer, posted a side-by-side photo of Wright with his 1-year-old child and Wright holding the gun. So, okay, the media's Dante Wright as opposed to the real Dante Wright, Cordelia wrote. Cordelia wrote. Cordelia has shared photos of his own gun collection on numerous occasions. He's even holding one in his profile picture. So, what's the difference between that young black man holding a gun to protect whatever is important to him, and you with your probably 17 guns protecting whatever is important to you? What's the difference? What is the difference between them two things? And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the difference right now. White supremacy wants you at its mercy in every single way at all times. So that's the difference right there. I definitely need my gun to to protect me from you and to dominate, have the reign power over you at all times. And I definitely need you to not have no gun because I need you to be held powerless at all times. But that's because that's the way that white supremacy works. I need to be able. I'm supposed to be able to dominate you whenever I want to. Ain't no fucking fair fight in white supremacy. No, I get to kill, 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 murder, murder, murder. You get to live if I say you can live. And if I say you can live, you don't need to worry about whoever I said could not live. That's the way the shit work in white supremacy, and that's why you gotta recognize this shit. And it's imperative that we take a strong, vigilant stance. And when people ask that a question like people like me and why we go so passionate, even if I ever question my own self, why be so passionate and why go so hard on these subjects? Because if you let this shit go unchecked and untalked about, unspoken on, and just oh, it is what it is. That's just the way it is. It's been like that forever. Yeah, then you find yourself, it's your son or whatever, and I just can't leave here knowing that I didn't fight against this shit. It says, or take Adam Toledo, a 13-year-old Latinx child who had his hands up when he was fatally shot by a Chicago, Illinois officer. Okay. It says, or take Adam Toledo, a 13-year-old Latinx child who had his hands up when he was fatally shot by a Chicago, Illinois officer. Fox News described Toledo as a 13-year-old man. And ain't that some dirty shit? But it's the nuances. We know that the media is the propaganda tool of white supremacy. That's it's been well documented in that that's the media's job is to spin whatever narrative that they are being paid to spin, or not even paid, but whatever the narrative that sets the agenda. So that's what the media, that's their job, to set the agenda and push the agenda. So they said that they described Toledo as a 13-year-old man. The same outlet called Rittenhouse, who was 17 at the time of his shooting, a little boy. Ever since he was thanked by an officer patrolling the streets with a gun, Rittenhouse has been given leeway, excuses, and even financial assistance from the same people meant to protect us. The same people who kill black men and boys, even if they just perceive an unfounded threat. So when a police officer donates money to Rittenhouse, telling him that every I'm sorry, every rank and file officer supports him, one thing is clear: police are the problem. Now, I just want to take time to. That was a good article, man. I want to take time to thank the refinery. Look at him. Look at this person, man. It's a killer. It's a killer, and he's important. The reason he gets so much support and so much, just I've been talking a minute. Love and shit from white society, white supremacy, because he plays an important role in the enforcement arm. Like we got motherfuckers like this who will just do this kind of shit. So they need to encourage this activity. They need to encourage this activity from whoever else in their society that may be leaning this way. That they need to know that you gonna have the support that you need if you go ahead and go through with them actions that we need you to go through. So that's why I entitled this video "The Nuances of the War Against Black Man." From, I mean, not black man, but society. So I hope that we learned a little something when throughout the course of this. Anyway, it's your man's Ocean. This is the OWN Network. I very much appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share my video. Come back again, man. We'll do this again. Thank you very much.